Boston Celtics have set a record for the most points in one game in a championship series. They had established the mark of 142 against the Lakers in '65, and they have broken it here.
Well, when you play against a team that threw a perfect game at you for a half, and I'm sure Riley will make that point tomorrow at practice, all you have to do is say, let us get to our game, how we play best.
How about a perfect game for 4 periods, Tom?
Yeah, well,
just about.
They were even Steven in the third quarter, in my opinion, but the game was won in the first half when I think much to the surprise of the Lakers, they had their fast break taken away.
Mike McGee. 13 points now.
That's what determines champions, is the willpower to force what you want to have done.
That's what the Lakers are going to have to do with their style.
That's when you talk about mentally tough players and teams.
And that's why a lot of people talk about Celtic intangible. That's just fact. Kupchak and Rambis get the rebound, under a minute to go. McGee shuffles it in to Spriggs. Well, the Lakers are going to have a couple of days to work out and to talk this one over, exercise this game from themselves, whatever it takes, and Pat Riley is going to have to be the psychologist.
It's not going to be a happy couple of days here in Boston for the Lakers getting ready for that next game.
ML Carr with a three-point shot. And a foul. Scott Wedman, who hit 4 3-pointers and is 11 for 11 from the field, is the best ever shooting in a championship game. So it's been a record-breaking, record-shattering performance by the Boston Celtics. But Tommy, when it goes in the books, it'll just be 1-0 Boston.
That's it. All you have to do is win by 1. The difference is of no importance, really, unless you let it affect you.
Again, that's where Magic and Riley and Kareem come into play.
I tell you, I think Magic is going to respond to that challenge. Pick this ball club up by its bootstraps and get them back in and play their style.
You'll hear the cheers. Standing ovation as the clock winds down for the Celtics. Rambis will foul Maxwell first. And there's an indication right there that the Lakers were not going to let the Celtics run that clock down so easy.
They don't give up. I think the Celtics caught them by surprise, had more intensity for this first game, used their physical part a little bit more than the Lakers did early on, and really Parrish and McHale running so hard to stop the LA fast break. The biggest factor, I don't know whether they'll be able to do that in a potential 7-game series, run that hard.
Celtics, Carr going in. 5 seconds. And that'll do it. Scott Wedman and Kevin McHale each scored 26. James Worthy had 20. No contest, game 1, but it's just game 1. Best of 7, give it to the Boston Celtics by a wide margin.
Back in Boston, I'm Brent Musburger, where the Boston Celtics have won game 1 of this NBA World Championship Series. They did it in blowout fashion. One of the stars of the first half spurt by the Celtics was guard Danny Ainge. He's standing by with Pat O'Brien, so let's go to Pat.
All right, Brent, thank you. One of the stars indeed. What got into you? You got them off to a quick start today.
Well, the shots were there. You know, they were doubling down and left me in the open. And the transition game, we got really going because our defense was pretty good there in the first quarter. And, you know, that's the best style. You know, get out in the open, and that's my game.
Your confidence level was very high today, too, Dan.
Yeah, I think so. You know, there's no reason not to have confidence when you're on the court with players like we have, Larry Bird, McHale, Parrish, everybody.
Okay, all of them aren't going to be this easy, I don't think. What do you expect? What do you see for Thursday night?
Well, you know, we all remember what happened last year when in Game 3 to us, and you know they're going to come out even harder come Thursday, and you know we got to be at our best to win the game again.
All right, Danny, congratulations on a great game, and Scott Wedman is here, and you were hot today too.
A little bit.
Didn't miss anything.
I felt good out there. You know, sitting there on the bench in the first quarter, just seeing how those guys were playing. You know, the guys on the bench, we just really felt like we wanted to come in and keep it going.
What does that do to the team when you guys off the bench play that well?
Well, it's just that much more of a lift. You know, when we go in, if we you know, gain 5 points, we're going to stay in the game. If we lose 5 points, we're going to come out. So we can just go in there and try to be loose and play our game. We've played together enough, and you know, we're just real confident at this point.
I don't know if you keep track of stats, but you set a championship record today. It's got 11 and 11.
Well, that was great, but I remember 2 free throws I missed, so I got to work on those. So, you know, I was real glad to be able to do that, and we're just going to try and really get prepared for game 2 and not relax.
All right, Scott, thanks for joining us in the postgame. Let's go back up to